Hey lovelies, it's Kate. Welcome back to another speed build. I built another mansion, of course I did, and this one is modern and it was built in Delso Valley on a 64 by 64 lot. And for this build I was inspired by a picture that I saw on Pinterest, but eventually the build turned out to be completely different. I wanted to have a round shape for the build in general in the front, but I mean, actually I didn't want to say it, but I'm gonna say it. It kind of looks like a boat, like a yacht. Like it looks like a combination of a mansion and a yacht. And I didn't plan this, but this is what it turned out to look like. And I think it looks pretty fancy because this is just a bit different than my regular modern builds. I mean, I never intended to build a yacht. Like I built a yacht back in the day, but like this was supposed to be a yacht, but I never wanted to build a yacht mansion without any proper water around it. But here we are. I hope you guys will enjoy this. And I put a heavy focus on lots of round shapes. So here you can see how I'm using the Get Famous Pristine pedestal. Anyone who's been around here for a while knows this object. It's the little white cube that is part of Get Famous. It's a surface, you can place anything on top, and if you want to find this you just have to filter by Get Famous and then click on surfaces, and then you will see it. The default swatch is white, and I just love this little object. It's just amazing. And when you've activated your Sims 3 camera and when you hold on Alt on your keyboard and your left mouse button, you can rotate objects freely, and this is what I did here. And I did this a lot. Like for this build I cut out parts of this because it was too much, but I still wanted to include the process so you guys see and understand what I'm doing here, kind of. But I did this a lot. I also used the Spot A Stony Goodness slab, as you will see, which is a pretty similar object, but it's rectangular and it's supposed to be placed on a water surface. And I used lots of these objects, and this way I was able to kind of create this round shape. And I think now that I'm looking at this, when I'm building these walls here, this is where it's starting to look like a yacht. Like this was the first mistake. This is where it all happened, the round shape and then this diagonal wall, and this is where it's beginning to look like a yacht. And I'm sorry, I hope that I didn't ruin this build for you by mentioning this. I showed this to Sadie and she was like, oh my god, I didn't see this, but now that you said it, it looks like a yacht. Just don't mention it, but I just had to. I thought it was too hilarious to not mention it, so now I think I might have ruined this build for some of you. So this is the Spot A Stony Goodness slab, and I also rotated it using the same method, holding down Alt, holding down the left mouse button, and then moving my mouse to freely rotate this object. Of course, you have to make sure to activate the Move Objects cheat, otherwise you can't just merge them like this. And then I wanted to create a round window facade, and for this I used Twisted Maxie's tool mod. And a little disclaimer, as always, this does not affect the gallery upload. If you grab this from the gallery, you will still have this rounded window facade, but you don't need the mod. So you can just grab this from the gallery and everything will still be where it's supposed to be, this is like what makes this mod so amazing. I mean, it's amazing in general, but this is like why I'm using it, because I always keep my builds CC free and unmodded. And then here you see more pristine pedestals, like a lot of them. And I wanted to have a roof that it has like a really interesting shape, and this is where it started to look more and more like a yacht. I mean, it's not that bad. Like when you look at the finished result, because they added multiple stories and more round shapes, it doesn't really look like a boat, but here the main shape in the center kind of starts to look more and more like some type of boat. And I wanted this to be really luxurious and over the top, which is why I included a secret underground area. And originally I planned to build a pool in the secret area, which is what I did, but then I wanted to have an island living glass floor right in the living room, and this way you could look down to the pool and you would have like a glass ceiling or a glass floor. But unfortunately, again, the island living glass floor was glitching, and as soon as I placed this object, I couldn't see some flaws. They would disappear, which is a well-known glitch at this point. I think it has happened to anyone who owns island living and who used this object. And I didn't want to deal with this, and I didn't want you having to deal with this, so I eventually just got rid of this object and I changed the plan for the interior because, I don't know, just didn't want to have any disappearing floors. Like, as soon as it happened, I was like, nope, goodbye, I don't live in glass floor. And I only used one, so it wasn't like a big issue. Like, when you plan a design where you use a lot of them and they are kind of necessary for your design, then of course you can't just get rid of them, but luckily it was just one living glass floor, so I said goodbye and that's it. And here I'm using a base game debug object. This is a column, and I again used the same method of holding down Alt and my left mouse button, so I was able to freely rotate this. So you will see a lot of round shapes here, and for all of them I just used this method. The only exception is any window facade that you see, like where I'm using tool to create a round window facade. This is like the exception, and I had to use the mod. But for the pool and for all these round shapes, I only used this trick that you can use by simply activating the Sims 3 camera, holding down Alt and your left mouse button. I'm going to say it again. So only for this here, for this thing, for this facade, you would need to mod if you want to replicate this, because the game by default does not allow us to rotate windows, unfortunately. But for all the other things, like all these round shapes, you can create them. You don't need a mod, you don't need anything. You just have to, I mean, you may need patience. This is what you may need, because it definitely takes a while. I actually planned to finish this build yesterday, but I still had to furnish, and it took way too long because for these objects I had to place so many objects. So I just didn't finish this build in time. This is why I'm releasing this on a Wednesday and not a Tuesday. But sometimes it just happens. It just takes a while, and this definitely took a bit of patience and time. And then I wanted to have some round rooms in the front. I felt like this made it look less like a boat, and also it looks more interesting. As I always say, when I incorporate a round shape anywhere, I want to incorporate it in different areas so it looks balanced, so I don't have a rectangular or square house and just one random round shape. So most of the time I incorporate multiple round shapes, or if I want to build a triangular house, I would incorporate multiple triangular shapes most of the time. This is how I like to approach a build, so this is why I build more of these. I also built the same thing, like this two-story round window facade thing in the front. I didn't include this though, because here you can already see how I did it, so I didn't want to include the same thing for the front. But in the front you will also find one of those, and this here is the interior space, so you already caught a glimpse of what's going on the inside. Really spacious, just a rectangle on both stories, which made it really easy to work out the floor plan and to furnish this. I again used some NoCC gallery art, and you will find all the information in the description box. And I just wanted to have this clean modern design, and I was really happy that I had a good floor plan to work with, to be honest. And here I placed more of the pristine pedestal. I have no idea how many I placed. Like, I wish I would have counted them. I placed so many. Also, I have no idea if I'm going to release more videos during the holidays, because I finished this build, which took a while, so I will see what's going to happen. But for sure between the holidays and New Year's, because I want to take it slow during the holidays. I'm just going to have a really chill Christmas with my boyfriend. As I've told you, this will be the first time that I'm not driving home for Christmas, which is a weird feeling. It's the 23rd right now, and usually right now I would be on my way home, so I'm a little sad, but at least it's like less stressful. I mean, I am a bit stressed. I'm recording this and I still have to buy some groceries for the Christmas days, but it's all good. It's a lot less stressful. It's more chill, and we're just going to watch a couple of Christmas movies. We've watched Krampus a couple of days ago, which is a Christmas horror movie. I can totally recommend it to anyone who's into Christmas and horror movies, and to anyone who's looking for a movie that is a bit different, because I feel like both Christmas movies are really similar when it just comes to the plot, but this one was a lot different and really, really fun. It also has a lot of comedy elements, so if you're looking for a more unique Christmas movie, I can totally recommend Krampus. I had no idea about Krampus or Krampus. It's from Germany, like it's a thing in the south of Germany. I'm not from the south, so I had no idea about this, and I had never heard about him, but he's like the helper of Santa Claus, and while Santa gives out presents to the kids, Krampus punishes the kids, the naughty kids, and in the movie it's also a bit darker and different. But no spoilers, I'm not going to say any more about the movie, but what I know from my childhood, which seems to be pretty similar, is Knecht Ruprecht. I don't know if this is a thing anywhere else, but Knecht Ruprecht specifically seems to be a German thing as well, and he's also the helper of Santa Claus, and while he's handing out the presents, he's taking care of the naughty kids. And I remember when I was a kid near my grandparents, there was a thing where you could buy like tickets for your kids, so you could go there, and then they would hand out like huge bags full of Christmas candy and oranges and stuff like this, like anything typical for winter time and Christmas. And I was always really excited, and then when you would go there, there was like some type of bonfire, and then Santa on a sled, and then you would like stand in line, and then at some point you would like give them your ticket, and then they would give you this bag full of candy, and he was like, yeah, were you a good kid, this kind of thing. And I was always really excited for this was so much fun. But I also remember that he wasn't alone, because Knecht Ruprecht, his helper, was in the background, so he was supposed to take care of the naughty kids and to kind of punish them, which of course never happened. It was like just a thing because it's part of the whole folklore, and I think it's like the whole thing where you keep like kids in check, where you're like, yeah, were you a good kid, a naughty kid, please behave, this kind of thing. And of course it was just a show, but I remember being so scared of him, like because he was in the background, and Santa had like his typical clothes, red and white, like really Christmassy and happy, and everything was so happy, and then he was in the background in dark clothes, and he looked so scary. I don't even really remember what he was wearing, but he also had some type of costume, really dark and more scary, and I was so scared. Of course it was just a show and nothing happened to any kid, of course, but I still remember being just so scared. And even though it was supposed to be so fun and I was kind of excited, as I said, I still vividly remember that I don't know, I didn't really like it. Like as soon as we arrived and I saw him, I was like, nope, I want to go, and I didn't really like it. So I feel like these things are supposed to be fun for the parents mostly, and also for the kids, but I feel like for a lot of kids this kind of thing isn't really fun, and Krampus reminded me of this. And I had no idea that this was like such a German thing, and I'd never heard of Krampus or Krampus, and I don't know, kind of scary. Let me know in the comments down below if you have something similar in your country, if there are similar things where the kids are supposed to be a little scared, so they behave, or I don't know, just anything similar. Maybe you have a really similar tradition like this where Santa has a helper, and let me know what it's called in your country, and if you enjoyed this as a kid, because I know that I was really scared. And yeah, I can really recommend the Krampus movie if you're looking for a Christmas horror movie that is also a bit fun and has some comedy elements. I just had to mention this because, I don't know, I'm really running out of Christmas movies. I've watched all the classics, of course. I've also watched all the other weird movies on Netflix. Like, I'm really looking for more Christmas movies. I know the struggle, so I thought I'd recommend you this one. I think it's from 2015 actually, so I guess most of you have maybe already watched it. But if you have a good recommendation for me, let me know in the comments down below. I really appreciate it. And now back to the build. Enough about Christmas and me being traumatized by Knecht Ruprecht. So here at this point I finished the exterior, most of the exterior. For these columns that I rotated using tool, I used a get together object actually, and I just rotated it. You can just find it when you filter by get together and you go to decorations, you will see it. It's like a really versatile, amazing object. I love these types of objects where you can just use them for all kinds of different things. I placed lots of tables and of course chairs and some plants on the outside. I wanted this to be properly decorated, but at the same time I didn't want to add too much. But again, this is such a modern build that I don't know, you just have to find a middle ground in a way. And I placed a round bar at the top, and to go to the bar you actually have to swim through the pool. I thought this was such a fun feature. And please forgive me, but this bar was from Journey to Baju. I know that not everyone is into this pack, but the round shape of the bar is just so unique, and it was just perfect for this round shaped build. And then I started to work on the interior. I used a little trick where you use a cabinet, and when you place it on a wall, just like I did, the back of the cabinet is facing forward and you have this kind of look. So it's just a different type of style. A lot of modern kitchens have this style nowadays, but we don't have these cabinets in the game unless you use CC. So I just had to use this trick to achieve this kind of look, and I wanted this to be pretty minimalistic. There is a bit of color here and there, as you will see, mostly yellow, but I used lots of grays and black. I don't know, it just happened. Sometimes I just start to furnish, I gravitate towards a color, and then I used a lot of that color. So here this is like a really monochrome interior. I here used the same trick where I built a wall and placed the cabinets there, and I used like 2 rows of cabinets, and this caused some flickering at the top, and to just hide it I used a base game shelf that I sized up and placed on top. This looks neat and you don't see any flickering, so this was it was just a really simple fix. This is what I can recommend. I used some city living curtains. It's sometimes so hard to find the right curtains. You never really know which curtains really fit, and I don't know, just wish we had more curtains. This was like, sometimes it's a hot mess. Like sometimes I really struggle to find the correct curtain. I wish we had more basic swatches, more basic curtains. I don't know, more modern, more elegant. Some curtains look so over the top, and I don't know, I just want more curtains. This is what I want to say. This wallpaper here is from Get Together. I used some no CC gallery art, as I said. You will find the credit for this gallery art in the description box as always, so you can check out these amazing creators and you can just check out their no CC gallery art, so you can place them. As I said, no CC, so you can just download this gallery art and you can add it to your builds, and it does not flag your build as CC. And this is the dining area, and at first I wanted to use some green chairs, and I'm so happy that I did not ended up doing that, because it just looks so weird, to me at least, and I ended up adding a bit of color by using a yellow armchair, as you will see. So I changed the color luckily. I don't know, the green just wasn't it. I didn't like it, and the floor plan was a bit weird, so I just decided to just kind of separate the interior by using different floor colors, and I used the spa day lighting stripe to just divide the area, so it's really open. I didn't divide these areas by simply using a wall or a half wall, but it's still separated. I felt like this way I don't destroy the whole open floor plan, and it's a bit unique and different. And here you can see the armchair, and at this point I felt like adding a bit of color really helps. It just looks so much more lived in and happy. So the kitchen is really dark, there isn't really a lot of color, but for the other rooms I added a bit of color here and there, which made it really happy and inviting. The wallpaper is from Parenthood. It's my favorite basic gray wallpaper, because even though it's basic, it looks interesting because it has different colors, different gray tones. Again, some no CC gallery art, and I had a lot of fun to furnish this. As I said, I was really pleased that the whole floor plan, or the whole inside, just was a rectangle, which made it really easy. Like recently, some of the houses I've built, when I took a look on the inside, it was like really slim and long, like a really weird shape, and then it's sometimes hard to furnish and to work out a floor plan. But here I was really happy, and these stairs just lead up to the bedrooms, and the stairs lead down to the secret pool area. As you will see, I also built a gym and a party area, so down there all the fun happens down there basically. So I just used this floor to have the basic living area, kitchen, living room, all that stuff. Up there you will find the bedrooms, and then down there in the secret area, in the underground area, all the fun happens, where you can just have a party, for example. And I made sure to place the curtain in a way that your Sims have enough privacy, kind of. I mean, not really. I should have placed a second one on top, probably. I don't know. I'm really sorry. You guys know I always try to make sure that your Sims have enough privacy. And I want to quickly say before this video ends, while I'm still furnishing, I just want to say thank you so much. This probably won't be the last video for 2020 on this channel, but I want to say it already because I know a lot of you are going to be busy during the holidays and for New Year, so I just want to say it now. Thank you for all your support, your love, everything. This year in general, because of the whole global situation, has been really sad and horrific in many ways, but when it comes to this channel, to my community, to all of you, you always give me so much joy. You give me a purpose. You just, I don't know, this is my creative outlet, and I just appreciate all of you so much. And as I always say, you are the best part about this, and I still can't believe how lucky I am that you guys allowed me to just build this platform, to just have this channel, and you guys allow me to do this. And I don't know, I'm just so grateful and I'm so happy. Also this year I got the silver play button for reaching 100k subs, all because of you, and I just want to say thank you so much. Even though in many ways this year wasn't the best, you guys really gave me so much love and joy and happiness and purpose, and I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you for allowing me to reach this milestone this year, and for being by my side, and for always supporting me. And sometimes when I feel unmotivated, when I'm going through a rough patch, and this year also in personal ways, I've talked about this, wasn't always that easy for me, but then I just look at the comments and someone just says something so nice, you're just so kind, and then you just put a smile on my face, and you just, my whole day is just amazing. You just make my whole day, and thank you so much. I just want to say this because, as I said, I don't know who's going to watch the other videos, because I know all of you are busy. I don't even know who's going to watch this one, but I just want to say this. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I hope next year will be much better for all of us. I know that the holidays are difficult for a lot of us, but I'm sending you all my love, and this will be over soon at some point, hopefully, and next year will hopefully be better, at least the holidays at the end of the year. So we just have to stay safe, we have to remain hopeful, and I'm just lucky that this year is almost over, because hopefully it will be better next year at some point. So I'm sending you all my love, and thank you from the bottom of my heart. And here I'm furnishing the bedrooms. I didn't include all bedrooms, but there are 5 bedrooms in total. I built 2 really typical kids rooms, then another kids room which doesn't have such a colorful theme, so it could also be for a teenager sim, or just for any sim really. It doesn't just have this typical theme or layout. And then also some regular bedrooms, of course, and I wanted this to be really colorful and happy, and I built this in Desert Valley, as I said, and the light is just always so gorgeous. And whenever you are furnishing a room which is facing to the back of the lot, the light is just stunning. I mean, look at this. It's just so much fun to furnish these rooms. I built some type of corner desk. I combined 2 desks, and I used 2 to lower one of them. This way you can avoid flickering. And this finally is the secret underground area. So the light is a bit different. I added some lights in general, so when it's dark, it's not dark, so there's light, of course. So it just looks weird during the daytime, I guess, because there's just a floor above, and this was still built on the ground. I just raised the terrain, so this is like a weird underground area. I built a dance floor. I used the spotty lighting stripe to just have a border going all around the floor and the dance floor, so it looks interesting. I just built a hot tub, so there's a lot of stuff going on. You can dance, and you can sit at the bar, you can chill in the hot tub, you can have a swim. I added some floaties. There are generally a lot of pools, which I think is always really cool for mansions. And then on the right side you see the area that is down there, and I just turned it into some type of gym. I also added another dance floor and just a corner to sit and hang out, a chess table, a bookshelf, different things. So this is really like some type of area to hang out. You could always just modify this to your to your liking, depending on what your Sims are up to. As I always say, I don't know what your Sims are up to. Maybe they're beekeepers, I don't know. I added some yoga mats and this DJ thingy, so you can just have a party down there. And this is really spacious and open, so you could also turn this into something entirely different if you would like to. Of course, there's also a bathroom down there, so when your Sims hang out at the pool and all that, no one wants the Sims having to walk a mile until they reach the bathroom. You always have to include enough bathrooms. This is also what I did for the whole bedroom area. Like most or all bedrooms have their own bathrooms, so they are en suites. And this is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope you liked the build, and I wish you guys happy holidays. I hope that no matter what you are up to, that the next days will be pleasant for you. Stay safe and healthy. This is the most important thing right now. This build is available in the gallery, fully furnished, unmodded and CC free, and even though I used Tool, you don't need Tool to download the build and use it the way it is. What you see is what you get, so even if you don't use Tool, everything will still be in place. But of course I can always recommend using Tool because it's amazing. I hope I see you in the next video, which should be sometime between Christmas and New Year's probably. And I'm sending you all my love, all my virtual hugs, and I hope I see you in the next video. Bye bye!